Important message. If you're over 60 and dealing with painful leg cramps, especially at night, your body could be begging for nutrients you're no longer absorbing properly. In the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, and Australia, many older adults suffer in silence, thinking this is just part of aging. But there are specific foods that can drastically reduce leg cramps, if you know what to eat and when. Leg cramps often hit when you least expect them, during sleep, while walking, or even just standing up. For many older adults in the United States, these cramps can feel like a sudden, sharp twisting of the muscles, most commonly in the calves, feet, or thighs. This problem is so widespread that studies show nearly 60% of people over 60 experience nocturnal leg cramps at least once a week. It's a serious quality of life issue. It disturbs sleep, limits mobility, and makes you anxious about going to bed. But the real tragedy is that most people are never told that leg cramps are almost always a sign that your diet is missing key nutrients, especially minerals that help your muscles contract and relax properly. Potassium, magnesium, calcium, and sodium all play a critical role in how your nerves send signals to your muscles. And when one of them falls too low, cramps are a warning. Let's start with potassium, a mineral that older adults in the United States and Canada are severely under-consuming. Potassium works with sodium to maintain fluid balance and help with muscle contractions. But as you age, your kidneys may not conserve potassium as efficiently, especially if you're on diuretics or medications for high blood pressure, a very common situation for seniors. Bananas are always the first food that comes to mind, but they're far from the best source. Avocados contain more than twice the potassium of a medium banana. Sweet potatoes are another excellent source, rich in both potassium and magnesium. Add one baked sweet potato to your dinner, and you're doing your muscles a huge favor. Also, spinach, which is high in both potassium and magnesium, can be added to salads, smoothies, or lightly sautéed with olive oil. The United Kingdom's NHS has repeatedly listed potassium deficiency as a risk for nighttime leg cramps, and doctors there are starting to look more seriously at nutritional interventions. Now, magnesium. This one is especially critical. A study from the United States showed that up to 80% of older adults may not be getting enough magnesium from their diet. Magnesium helps regulate muscle and nerve function, blood sugar levels, and even supports healthy blood pressure. A deficiency can trigger not only cramps, but also arrhythmias and high blood pressure, which often go hand in hand in aging Americans. What's worse, many antacids and medications for acid reflux, very commonly used in the United States, Canada, and Australia, interfere with magnesium absorption. The best magnesium-rich foods include pumpkin seeds, which offer about 150 milligrams in just 1 ounce. Almonds are another top contender, as are black beans and dark leafy greens. But one of the most underappreciated sources is dark chocolate. Just 1 square of 70–85% dark chocolate provides a strong hit of magnesium and can help reduce the frequency of nighttime cramps, especially if eaten about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Calcium is another mineral often overlooked when talking about leg cramps. While most people think of bones when they hear calcium, it's also essential for muscle contractions. In fact, calcium deficiency can cause both cramps and muscle twitching. Milk is the go-to source in the United States, but many seniors become lactose intolerant or avoid dairy due to digestive discomfort. Fortunately, there are alternatives. Chia seeds, canned salmon with bones, and fortified plant-based milks like almond or oat milk can supply strong doses of calcium. In Canada and Australia, where dairy alternatives are highly popular, these foods have become critical for older adults managing cramps and muscle tightness. Yogurt, especially plain Greek yogurt, is another powerful food that supplies not just calcium, but potassium and magnesium as well, making it one of the best nighttime snacks for people suffering from nocturnal cramps. Sodium is trickier. While too much sodium can cause high blood pressure, too little, especially in seniors, can be just as dangerous. If you're eating a very low sodium diet, or if you're sweating more due to exercise or hot weather, low sodium levels can trigger cramps. People in the United States often don't realize that certain blood pressure medications like thiazide diuretics flush out both sodium and potassium, setting the stage for severe cramping. In this case, simply adding a pinch of Himalayan salt or sea salt to your meals can restore electrolyte balance. Electrolyte drinks used by athletes can also help, but avoid the sugary kinds. Look for ones with magnesium, potassium, and sodium, but low or no added sugar. Hydration is the foundation. Even mild dehydration thickens the blood, slows circulation, and increases nerve excitability, all of which can trigger muscle cramps. In Australia, where hot weather is common, leg cramps spike during the summer months due to hidden dehydration. Seniors often have a reduced sense of thirst, meaning they might not drink enough water until it's too late. But water alone might not be enough if you're not replenishing your electrolytes at the same time. Coconut water is one of the most powerful natural sources of electrolytes. It has potassium, magnesium, and a small amount of sodium. Drinking it in the evening has helped many older adults stop waking up at night from painful cramps. In the United Kingdom, some senior care homes have started providing small glasses of coconut water before bed and report significant reductions in cramping episodes. But foods alone aren't enough if your digestion isn't functioning properly. Many older adults in the United States and Canada suffer from low stomach acid, especially if they take proton pump inhibitors like omeprazole. These medications are often prescribed long-term, but are known to impair magnesium and calcium absorption. This can slowly deplete your body's mineral reserves, even if you're eating the right foods. If you notice bloating, a heavy feeling after meals, or undigested food in your stool, there's a good chance your digestive health is sabotaging your nutrient absorption. In this case, fermented foods like kefir, sauerkraut, and miso can help restore the balance of gut bacteria and improve mineral uptake. Apple cider vinegar, taken before meals in a small amount of water, is another traditional remedy that may enhance stomach acid and help the body absorb more minerals. It's a commonly used trick among older generations in the United States, passed down in families as a remedy for indigestion and leg cramps alike. Muscle cramps are not just a result of low electrolytes. Vitamin B deficiencies, especially B1, thiamine, and B12, are a hidden cause often missed, even by health professionals. These vitamins are critical for nerve health. Deficiencies can result in nerve pain, tingling, numbness, and cramping. Older adults in Canada and the United Kingdom are at higher risk due to lower intake of meat or because of absorption problems. In the United States, seniors with type 2 diabetes are often on metformin, a drug that can cause B12 deficiency over time. Symptoms include fatigue, nerve pain, and frequent cramping. Liver, eggs, fish, and nutritional yeast are some of the best B vitamin-rich foods. But even if you're eating these foods, age-related malabsorption might mean you need methylated B-complex supplements. Finally, one of the most important but ignored elements is magnesium oil applied directly to the skin. It bypasses the digestive system entirely and can deliver quick relief, especially when applied to cramp-prone areas like the calves and feet before bed. Thousands of seniors in the United States have posted about using magnesium oil on online forums, sharing that it stopped their cramps within days. It's a method even used by athletes and people in physical therapy for muscle recovery. You can find magnesium sprays in most health stores in Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom as well. And they're simple to use. Just spray, massage, in and go to bed with less worry about waking up in agony. The truth is, leg cramps after 60 are not something to brush off as normal. They are a direct signal from your body that something critical is off balance. Whether it's a deficiency, medication side effect, or poor hydration, there's always a reason. And there's always a nutritional answer, if you know what to look for. In the United States, more and more people are turning away from just using painkillers or stretching and finally addressing the root cause: diet and absorption. Whether you're in Canada, Australia, or the United Kingdom, the foods you eat and how well your body absorbs their nutrients determine whether you wake up in pain or sleep through the night in peace. In the United States, it's shocking how many older adults are given muscle relaxants or prescription medications for recurring leg cramps instead of being guided toward nutritional corrections. These medications may offer temporary relief, but often come with side effects like drowsiness, confusion, or even increased risk of falls, especially dangerous in the elderly. One of the most prescribed drugs is quinine sulfate, which the FDA actually restricted due to life-threatening side effects. Yet many seniors still try to get it online, desperate for relief. But imagine how many of those painful nights could be prevented with something as simple as consistent magnesium intake or eating potassium-rich foods daily. Unfortunately, there's a long-standing gap between what clinical nutrition research has shown and what patients are told in day-to-day care, especially in overburdened healthcare systems in the United States and Canada. Cramping isn't only a problem at night. For many in their 60s and older, walking for more than 10 minutes can cause sudden tightening in the calf or thigh muscles. In Australia and the United Kingdom, where outdoor walking is common among older adults, this kind of cramping often leads to people avoiding movement out of fear. But reduced activity only makes the issue worse. When you stop moving, circulation slows, muscles get weaker, and nerve function deteriorates. One of the foods that supports both muscle and nerve health is beetroot. Rich in nitrates, beets improve blood flow by supporting the nitric oxide pathway. When blood flow improves, oxygen delivery to muscles increases, which can help prevent exercise-induced cramps. Beets can be roasted, juiced, or even added to smoothies. And they pair well with other anti-cramp foods like leafy greens and citrus fruits. Speaking of citrus, vitamin C is essential for collagen production and the repair of muscle fibers. But it's also a powerful antioxidant that protects nerves from damage and inflammation, which can indirectly reduce cramps. Many people over 60 don't realize that their absorption of vitamin C can decrease due to chronic inflammation or digestive issues. Oranges, bell peppers, strawberries, and kiwis are some of the highest sources. In the United States and Canada, where the standard diet is often low in fresh fruits, this leads to chronic deficiencies. Just one red bell pepper provides more vitamin C than an orange and also supports immune health and iron absorption, another nutrient tied to muscle function. People with low iron often experience fatigue and cramps, especially women post-menopause due to reduced iron stores. Beef liver, red meat, spinach, and lentils are some of the most iron-dense foods available and should be eaten regularly by anyone experiencing chronic cramping. Another powerful but underused food group is legumes. Chickpeas, black beans, lentils, and navy beans are all rich in magnesium, potassium, and calcium. They also contain fiber that supports gut health, which is critical for mineral absorption. In the United Kingdom and Australia, there's been a rise in the popularity of plant-based diets, but without the right balance, some seniors may end up lacking the exact minerals their muscles need. If legumes are not well tolerated, soaking or pressure cooking them can reduce compounds like phytates that may interfere with mineral absorption. For people in the United States who grew up on heavily processed foods, switching to whole legumes may take time, but even one serving a day can begin restoring mineral balance and calming hyperexcitable muscles. Crucially, we can't ignore how blood sugar affects leg cramps. Many older adults in the United States and Canada are insulin-resistant or diabetic, often without knowing it. Fluctuating blood sugar can pull magnesium out of cells and increase urination, which flushes out critical electrolytes. Foods with a low glycemic index like oats, chia seeds, and berries can stabilize blood sugar and support mineral retention. A common story seen in senior health forums involves someone with uncontrolled blood sugar who started waking up nightly with severe cramps. Once they began reducing processed carbohydrates and increased magnesium-rich foods, their symptoms dramatically improved. These changes didn't involve medication, just consistent food choices that addressed the root of the problem. Water alone is not enough if the kidneys aren't functioning well. Kidney function declines naturally with age, but conditions like high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes accelerate this process. In the United States, nearly 38% of adults over age 65 have chronic kidney disease at some stage. This directly affects mineral balance, especially magnesium and potassium, which are regulated by the kidneys. For someone with reduced kidney function, potassium-rich foods like bananas or avocados might need to be monitored. But that doesn't mean avoiding them completely. It means eating them in controlled amounts and under a healthcare provider's guidance. But without proper testing, many older adults just live with leg cramps, unaware that impaired kidney filtration is a contributing cause. Tonic water is another controversial solution that's often recommended. It contains small amounts of quinine, which has muscle-relaxing properties. Some seniors in the United States swear by it, saying that drinking a glass before bed eliminates their cramps. However, the levels of quinine in over-the-counter tonic water are very low, and there's little evidence that it helps in a meaningful way for most people. Also, the added sugars in tonic water can cause spikes in insulin and disrupt blood sugar, especially problematic for people with prediabetes. A better alternative is drinking warm herbal teas like chamomile or ginger tea, which relax the muscles and reduce inflammation without interfering with blood sugar. Ginger, especially, has anti-inflammatory properties that support circulation and muscle relaxation. Many herbalists in Canada and Australia use ginger tea as a nightly ritual to prevent muscle tension and promote deeper sleep. Turmeric is another overlooked anti-cramp food. Its active ingredient, curcumin, reduces inflammation and improves blood flow. It's especially helpful for people with arthritis or chronic joint pain, which often occurs alongside muscle cramps. Turmeric can be added to soups, stews, or blended with warm almond milk for a calming nighttime drink known as golden milk. When taken with black pepper, curcumin absorption increases by up to 2,000%. This combination has become increasingly popular in wellness communities in the United States and the United Kingdom. Anecdotal reports from older adults say that using turmeric daily not only reduced their joint pain, but made their leg cramps disappear entirely after 2 to 3 weeks. Foods high in omega-3 fatty acids are critical for calming nerve inflammation and improving circulation. Wild-caught salmon, sardines, flax seeds, and walnuts are excellent options. Omega-3s have been shown to reduce muscle soreness and help with recovery, which is essential for older adults who experience cramping after walking or light exercise. In the United States, most people do not get enough omega-3s in their daily diet, and omega-6 fatty acids from processed foods dominate instead. This imbalance leads to chronic inflammation, which increases cramping and muscle pain. A senior who starts eating salmon twice a week and adds flaxseed to their breakfast will likely notice a major difference in just a few weeks. Vitamin D deficiency is another hidden cause of leg cramps. In older adults, low vitamin D levels impair calcium absorption, weaken muscles, and increase the risk of falls. In the United Kingdom and Canada, where sunlight is limited during the winter months, this becomes a serious issue. In the United States, despite more sun exposure, seniors often avoid the sun due to skin cancer warnings or are indoors for most of the day. Foods like egg yolks, salmon, and fortified dairy or plant-based milk are useful, but in many cases, supplementation is necessary. A blood test can confirm deficiency, and increasing vitamin D intake can lead to noticeable improvements in muscle function and a reduction in cramps. Eggs, often criticized in the past, are actually one of the best all-in-one foods for older adults with leg cramps. They contain B vitamins, vitamin D, iron, and even small amounts of magnesium and calcium. They are also high in protein, which supports muscle repair. For people in the United States with mobility issues or poor appetite, eggs are easy to prepare, versatile, and affordable. Scrambled, boiled, or added to soups, they should be a staple in every older adult's diet. Some people find that leg cramps are worse during stressful periods. That's because chronic stress burns through magnesium and B vitamins at a rapid rate. The sympathetic nervous system stays activated, leading to tightness in the muscles, elevated cortisol, and poor sleep, conditions that make cramps more frequent and intense. This is why stress management techniques are as important as nutrition. Deep breathing, meditation, stretching, or even walking outside in nature can support mineral balance by calming the nervous system. In Australia and the United Kingdom, where mindfulness practices are becoming part of elder care programs, reductions in muscle cramping have been observed simply by lowering stress levels. The timing of food intake also matters. People who skip meals or go long hours without eating may experience electrolyte imbalances, especially if they're only drinking water and not consuming nutrient-dense foods. Cramping after skipping dinner or having an early dinner followed by a long fast is common, particularly in the fasting and wellness trends seen in the United States. While intermittent fasting may benefit some, seniors with leg cramps should be cautious. Eating a small, balanced meal with proteins, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates in the evening helps stabilize blood sugar and provides the minerals needed to prevent overnight cramping. One of the most overlooked yet effective categories of food to reduce leg cramps in people over 60 is fermented foods. These foods don't just support gut health, they actively improve nutrient absorption, especially minerals like magnesium and calcium. In the United States and Canada, years of antibiotic use, processed food consumption, and acid-suppressing medications have damaged the gut microbiome in older adults. That damage means even when you eat mineral-rich foods, your body may not absorb them efficiently. Foods like sauerkraut, kefir, miso, kimchi, and plain Greek yogurt can restore beneficial bacteria that enhance the absorption of every essential nutrient your muscles need to contract and relax without pain. In Australia and the United Kingdom, fermented food intake among older adults is still too low, but awareness is slowly growing, especially in wellness communities that are bringing back ancestral eating practices. Bone broth is another food that's getting renewed attention for its powerful benefits. It's loaded with electrolytes like potassium and magnesium, plus collagen, which supports joint and muscle health. For someone over 60 dealing with leg cramps, 1 cup of homemade bone broth each day can help restore both fluid balance and nutrient levels. It's especially helpful for those who have trouble chewing or digesting solid food. In colder areas of Canada and the northern United States, where winters can be brutal and joint pain worsens, warm bone broth not only provides hydration, but also comfort. Some people even report that after 2 weeks of daily bone broth, their nightly leg cramps reduced or completely disappeared. It's not surprising. Bone broth is rich in glycine, an amino acid that promotes relaxation and better sleep, making it a double weapon against nighttime cramping. There's a lesser-known mineral that's essential for muscle function and often forgotten: boron. Though not often listed on nutrition labels, boron supports calcium metabolism, reduces inflammation, and helps with magnesium retention. Older adults in the United States tend to be very low in boron because the modern diet lacks natural sources. Foods like prunes, raisins, almonds, and avocados are rich in boron and should be eaten regularly. Interestingly, studies from the United Kingdom found that older adults who consumed prunes daily showed improved bone density and fewer muscle cramps, likely due to this mineral. The best part is that just a small handful per day is enough. People with blood sugar issues should pair dried fruits like prunes with protein or fat to slow the absorption of natural sugars. Another surprising contributor to leg cramps in people over 60 is low chloride. Chloride works together with sodium and potassium to maintain proper muscle function. Seniors who eat low-sodium diets for blood pressure might also be restricting chloride without realizing it. Table salt is one of the main sources of both sodium and chloride. If you're using salt substitutes or cutting salt drastically, and you're still experiencing cramps, this could be a clue. Adding moderate amounts of unrefined salt, like sea salt or Himalayan pink salt, not just to flavor food, but to restore electrolyte balance, can help reduce cramping. But always balance this with hydration, especially for those in hotter climates like certain regions in Australia, where fluid loss through sweat is more common and contributes to more intense cramps. During summer months, fatty fish like mackerel, sardines, and anchovies provide a concentrated source of anti-inflammatory nutrients, especially omega-3s and vitamin D. These fish also contain a small but useful amount of calcium and magnesium in their edible bones, which can be consumed when the fish is canned. In the United States, older adults are often turned off by strong-smelling fish. But when these are incorporated into spreads, salads, or mashed with lemon juice and herbs, they become not only tolerable, but therapeutic. People who start consuming oily fish 2 to 3 times a week frequently notice improvements in both joint pain and muscle cramps. In Australia and the United Kingdom, where fresh seafood is more accessible along the coasts, there's no reason not to make this a regular part of your routine. Even the type of cooking oil you use matters. Industrial seed oils like canola, corn, soybean, and sunflower oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which promote inflammation when not balanced by omega-3s. Inflammation disrupts nerve signaling and promotes muscle tightness and spasms. Switching to extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or coconut oil can help reduce inflammation and support the nerves that control muscle movement. This simple change in the kitchen can contribute significantly to fewer cramps and a better quality of life. In regions of the United States with strong Mediterranean influence, older adults who follow a diet rich in olive oil, fish, greens, and fermented foods report fewer problems with muscle cramps. People who suffer from recurring leg cramps often don't get enough high-quality protein. Muscle loss accelerates after 60, a condition called sarcopenia. As muscle tissue breaks down, it becomes weaker, more sensitive, and more prone to cramping. Lean proteins like turkey, chicken, grass-fed beef, wild-caught fish, and eggs provide amino acids that rebuild muscle tissue and support nerve health. Seniors in Canada and the United States who live alone or in assisted living facilities often eat less protein than they need, either due to cost, dental issues, or lack of appetite. A simple fix is to include protein in every meal, even in small amounts. Cottage cheese, protein smoothies, and soft-boiled eggs are easy-to-eat options that can make a big difference in reducing cramps. Many people don't connect leg cramps with sleep quality, but poor sleep can create a feedback loop where cramps get worse. That's because sleep is when the body repairs and restores its electrolyte and nervous system balance. Melatonin, the sleep hormone, also influences calcium and magnesium movement in the body. Cherries, especially tart cherries, contain natural melatonin and have been used successfully by older adults to improve sleep duration and reduce nighttime awakenings. In the United States and Canada, tart cherry juice is available in most grocery or health food stores and has been shown in small studies to improve sleep and reduce muscle soreness. When taken in the evening with a magnesium-rich snack, it provides a powerful combination against nocturnal cramps. Zinc is another mineral tied to nerve health and often deficient in people over 60. It plays a role in muscle recovery and nerve repair, yet many common medications reduce zinc levels, including diuretics and ACE inhibitors used for blood pressure. Zinc-rich foods include oysters, beef, pumpkin seeds, and chickpeas. In the United Kingdom, where vegetarian diets are increasing among seniors, zinc deficiency is quietly rising. That's concerning because zinc deficiency is associated with not only cramping, but also delayed wound healing and decreased immunity. Even a modest increase in zinc intake from food or supplements has been shown to help reduce leg pain, spasms, and nerve sensitivity. Alcohol can also trigger leg cramps, yet many older adults continue to consume wine or beer with dinner, thinking it helps them sleep or relax. The truth is that alcohol dehydrates the body, depletes magnesium and potassium, and disrupts REM sleep, which is critical for physical recovery. Even 1 or 2 drinks can be enough to push mineral levels into deficiency territory, especially if you're already borderline. In Australia and the United States, where evening drinking is common in older social circles, many don't realize that their glass of wine might be sabotaging their sleep and increasing their risk of cramps. Reducing or eliminating alcohol, especially in the evening, is one of the fastest ways to see an improvement. Some older adults find that staying physically active actually reduces their cramps, but the key is choosing the right type of movement. High-impact exercises or intense routines can worsen symptoms, especially if minerals are already low. But gentle stretching, yoga, tai chi, and walking improve circulation, nerve health, and electrolyte flow. In the United Kingdom, community centers often host Tai Chi classes specifically designed for older adults with muscle pain or balance issues. These low-intensity movements activate muscles in a safe way, helping prevent stiffness and nighttime cramping. Stretching the calves and hamstrings before bed, paired with foods high in magnesium and potassium, can be a powerful habit to reduce cramping episodes. At the end of the day, the body is constantly sending signals, and leg cramps are one of the most obvious cries for help. They're not just random events or part of getting old. They're caused by something. And once you find that cause, whether it's a lack of magnesium, poor hydration, low vitamin D, nerve inflammation, or blood sugar instability, you can stop the suffering. In the United States and other countries like Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom, older adults deserve to be given the full truth. These symptoms are real, they're fixable, and the answers are often already in your kitchen.